democracies are built on a powerful idea that people can move beyond narrow group loyalties and unite under a shared civic duty based on equality, rights, and neutral laws. But there's a problem. Political science and honestly, just everyday life suggests that people don't stop identifying with groups, whether it's their ethnicity, religion, language, or ideology. Group identity continues to shape how we think, vote, and who we trust. So this raises a question. To what extent can democracies remain stable if they try to ignore these identities altogether? Well, this video argues that they can't. If tribal affiliation is a permanent part of human behavior, then democracies that try to erase that identity risk instability. Instead, stable systems are the ones that acknowledge and manage group identity, rather than pretending that that identity does not exist. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Humans are not purely rational, independent individuals. We are by nature social creatures, deeply shaped by group dynamics. Political science research shows that people consistently favor their in-group, the group that they identify with, over others. This isn't just prejudice, it's a built-in survival mechanism. Historically, groups meant safety, cooperation, and survival. Even today, this shows up everywhere. We see it in political parties, national identity, religion, even online communities. We instinctively trust people who are like us and are more skeptical of those who aren't. So when democratic systems assume people will act as a neutral, purely rational citizen, they're ignoring something fundamental about human behavior. Modern democracy is built on what's called liberal universalism. The idea is simple. Everyone is treated equally under neutral laws regardless of identity. In theory, this is powerful. It promotes fairness and equality. But in practice, things can get messy. People don't experience laws in a vacuum. They interpret them through their identities. If different groups have different values, histories, or experiences, then neutral laws don't always feel neutral. And when that happens, trust breaks down. People begin to ask whose values are really being represented. Is this system actually fair to my group? And once trust erodes, so does legitimacy. That's when you start seeing polarization, backlash, and instability. So if ignoring identity doesn't work, what does? Some political systems take a different approach, one that acknowledges identity instead of denying it. This is where ideas like pluralism, federalism, and power sharing come in. Instead of forcing everyone into a single identity, these systems aim to distribute power across groups, give minorities a voice, and allow regional autonomy. A great example of this is Switzerland. It's a country divided by language, religion, and region, but it remains stable. Why? Because its system is designed to share power across groups, not erase their differences. Similarly, systems with proportional representation ensure that minority groups are included in decision-making, rather than permanently outvoted. These models don't eliminate identity. In fact, they manage it, and that's the key difference. Now, of course, this approach isn't perfect. Critics argue that recognizing group identity can actually make divisions worse. If you build identity into political systems, aren't you just reinforcing it? And it's a valid concern, but here's a trade-off. Ignoring identity doesn't make it disappear. It often makes it more extreme. When people feel their identity is ignored or threatened, they don't become more neutral. They become more tribal. So the question isn't, should identity exist in politics? It's, how do we manage it without letting it tear our society apart? At the end of the day, humans are both capable of broad cooperation, but deeply attached to group identity. Democracy works best when it accepts both sides of that reality. Systems that try to erase identity in the name of pure equality often create instability. But systems that acknowledge identity and structure cooperation around it tend to be more resilient. The goal isn't to eliminate tribalism, it's to prevent it from becoming destructive, because the survival of democracy may depend on a simple shift in thinking, not pretending we've moved beyond tribes, but learning how to live with them. If you found this video interesting, please drop a like or consider subscribing. This channel is a compilation of video essays on topics that I find interesting. You're also able to read the full essays at the bottom of each video. Have a good one. Bye.